Generally speaking, in the area of fighting crime, especially banditry, kidnapping, herdsmen conflicts, and communal conflicts, we've achieved a lot, bearing in mind that conflicts take time to evolve. The factors that create conflicts, there are things that have been nurtured for a very long time, and then at the final stage it manifests itself in terms of either banditry or kidnapping or commission of crime. And if you want to deal with it, it will take time for you to be able to deal with it completely. If you look at the situation in the past, we used to have pipeline vandalization in the southern part of the country. But with time, the government has been able to overcome that. If you look at conflict that existed for a very long time in the southwest, if you take Modakeke conflict, it happened for a long time, but it took the government a significant period of time to overcome that. In the country today, in the northern part of the country, we have insurgency, which in the past, it used to be so effective to the extent that the terrorists, Boko Haram, will come to the cities and operate and go away. But now it is not the case. So with time, they have been degraded and they have been confined to a very small place within the Lake Chad region. And all efforts are being made to lodge them out. And now we are having challenges of banditry in the northwest, which is a manifestation of the heat that the terrorists are getting in the northeast. So some of them are moving to the northwest and linking up with some common criminals to wrestle cows, to attack people, and then the members of the community react. They react in such a way that they come also to attack the bandits. And in that situation, you have escalation of banditry. In the past, the epicenter has been Zamfara, where every day you hear killing of innocent citizens. But with concerted efforts from the police and other security agencies, Zamfara is now relatively calm. And if you move to Kaduna, Binongwari axis, for example, the situation used to be very bad. But with concerted efforts, we've been able to reduce to a significant level of the act of banditry. And in the southern part of Kaduna, you know, it is not only the herders wrestling cows, but we have the Islamic State of West African state that are operating there, who are terrorists, kidnapping. They kidnap for ransom. And we've been able to degrade them because we went to their camps, many of their camps, in Kurudu, in Walawa, in Giwa axis. We destroyed all the camps. And the activities is such that they are not able at will to come out and attack. In Katsina State, we've been having series of attacks in terms of these bandits running away from Zamfara because of the heat they were getting. They come to Katsina, and in the past they used to, you've had it, where they almost every week you see them attacking here and there. But now, we've been able to degrade them. You hardly hear of any attack. It may take 3 weeks, a month, before you hear an attack. And then when we check the attack, we find out it's nothing but criminality, not an organized banditry to the extent that it used to happen. So we've achieved a lot in terms of bringing down criminality, in terms of banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of violent crime. You may ask, why are the criminals operating with arms and ammunition? We arrest them, we take the arms and ammunition, but they do get supply from outside, from our neighboring countries, because our borders are porous. And for that reason, Mr. President gave us a marching order to make sure that we block the borders. We check and prevent entry of arms and ammunition and bandits into the country. And for that reason, we've gone to Niger Republic. I led a team, we went to Niger Republic, we met with our counterparts there, and we have sat down, strategized, and identified where we need to block and do some joint operations to get these arms traffickers into the country arrested and prosecuted. So a lot is being done, a lot has been achieved, and as I said, when you are trying to cure sickness, it will take time for you to eliminate it. But we will eliminate all this banditry and kidnapping. Thank you. It is not a new police structure that is being created, but within the police we will strategize and then brought in community-based initiative to solve crime. So the idea and what we are implementing is that the community should take responsibility of policing their communities at a certain level. And the implementation has gone far. So far, we have inaugurated State Community Policing Advisory Committee in all the states of the Federation. And that advisory committee comprises the traditional rulers. At the state level, you have the chairman of the traditional rulers or council, who is represented there. You have the representatives of faith-based organizations. You have representatives of women, market women. You have representatives of National Union of Transport Workers, representatives of teachers, students, youth, all in that advisory committee at the state level. I mean, at the local government, we have the same strategy, represented by this same group of community leaders. And at the local government level, again, you have community policing committee, which will be, again, traditional rulers that are coming from the wards and villages who form this committee. This committee are the ones to help us identify within the wards, the villages, and the towns, their own citizens, their own natives, who are able bodies that are known and they know the communities. We will select them, train them as community policing officers, and send them back to the communities where they come from. And what are they supposed to do? The community policing. So we have reached this stage already. Now we are at the stage of recruiting for training. Now what will be the role of the committee, the advisory committee at the local government level and at the state level? The advisory committee at the local government level that comprise all these stakeholders will be the ones to be receiving report of challenges and problems of crime within the communities through the community policing officers. They will deliberate on these problems. Families that are identified to be committing crime, or individuals or foreigners that are coming into the community to be committing crimes, and the members of the community that are also involved in commission of crime. community policing officers will deal with that and bring it to the community policing advisory committee to see how they can solve the problem without necessarily bringing it to the DPO.